Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel for the first time today. I am so excited to make this video because I feel like if you are new to self-tanning or if you are already a self-tanner, but there's certain things that drive you crazy, this video is gonna help you so much. When I first started self-tanning, I went through a lot of trial and error. I used to walk around looking kind of crazy, but hey, progress, not perfection, right? But now today, as an experienced tanner, I'm gonna walk you through from start to finish what helps me achieve the most flawless, seamless, natural looking tan. Also, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There are some products in this video that I will be talking about that I have full reviews on if you wanna see that. Okay, so the tan that I use specifically is the Bondi Sands AERO Aerated Self Tanning Foam in Ultra Dark. I also was a loving tan girl for so long. I swore by the Ultra Dark. I still do love it. This is going to be referenced in the video as well, but really these tips can go with any tanning foam, oils, gradual tanners, whatever you use. You could probably apply any of the tips that I give to any of your tanning processes. So the first thing that you have to do in preparation to your tan is going to be get in the shower and shave and exfoliate all that old tan off, or any of your dry skin. If you have a clean slate already, just make sure you do exfoliate for the first time. I just use these basic exfoliating gloves. You could get them really anywhere. I think these cost me like $3. I got them personally at Target, but they are a little bit rough, so you do want to make sure that you get a nice exfoliation before you start to apply a tan, just so that it applies smoothly for the first time. So what you do is you just exfoliate in circular motions on all of your dry areas everywhere around your body. It does take a little bit of time, but if you want to have a good tan, it is worth it, and I like to think of it as self-care. After I do exfoliate, I make sure I go in with a new razor and I will shave everywhere. I do shave my arms, not everybody does, but yeah, I do like to use a fresh razor just so that I can make sure I get like the cleanest shave, because I don't want to have to shave in a couple days, because I try to shave as least as possible after I do my tan. One huge tip, okay, when you're exfoliating, if you have a problem to where tan does not stick to your neck very well, like I did for so long, I realized that you need to give the slightest exfoliation to your neck. That's really helped me have my neck tan as even as my body. When I am exfoliating, I am just going to use a regular bar soap. Really any one is totally fine. I like to use it because I feel like it helps remove the tan, it helps polish the skin the best so that you have a nice clean layer to go ahead and apply your product. After you are clean, soft, shaved, exfoliated, when you get out of the shower, you want to take a good moisturizer and just moisturize your hands, elbows, ankles, feet, and then with the remainder, what I would do is put it on the top of your knees, just so that you don't go extra dark in those places. You do actually want to wait at least an hour after you take a shower in order for your pores to close, so that you don't get like little dots on you. One thing that I have heard is that if you take a cold shower while you rinse with cold water, it will help that process go faster. So I do usually do a quick rinse with cold water. Not the most enjoyable, but hey, it's just that I don't have to sit around and wait to put on my tan as long. So usually I'll wait at least an hour, sometimes two, depending on how hot of a shower I took, in order to apply my tan. After you have waited at least that amount of time, you can go ahead and start applying your tanner. I do always use a mitt to apply my tanners. I used the Loving Tan one for quite a bit of time, but then I purchased the Bondi Sands one, and after that I really have stuck with the Bondi Sands. I will use the Loving Tan though. I don't like knock it or anything like that. This one's just a little bit softer, so I like it. Before you start applying your tan, what I suggest is to put another layer of moisturizer on your hands, your elbows, and your feet and your ankles. And then, like I said, do a thin layer on the top of your knees. Then you're ready to start applying the product. I do give it a second to like soak in at least a little bit, but then after that, you're good to go. So now this is where things get so serious, okay? So I want to give you some tips on how to not get that crazy looking tan hand underneath too on your wrist. So I'll always do like the upper of my arm first, put everything there, and then do like a sweep over my elbow, and then put more on to the lower part of my arm, okay? And then with whatever is left over on the mitt, you wanna make sure there's not a lot of product on there. You'll go to the top of your hands, and then you'll just slowly work it in. What I will do actually that I wanna show you that I haven't seen anybody else do is this little trick. So everybody says do the claws, okay? But what I do is I'll actually take my mitt and like make a circle with it and go like that so it gets all of it. And then underneath your hands doesn't get touched. And then after you do that on your fingers and in between them and the tops of your hands, you can go to the bottom. When I apply to my arms, what I will do is on my wrist, I will just take a very slight amount here and then flip the mitt over and then blend it in like that, okay? So then after I have it applied on my hand, I make sure I grab a baby wipe, a paper towel, a wet, if you wet your towel a little bit, anything to wipe off the tips of your fingertips, okay? And then I will sweep over my knuckles a little bit. And then I will let that like dry out. And then I'll take the part of the mitt that hasn't actually touched the tan, and I'll just go like this over it so that I don't have like white spots in between my tan. Okay, so then bam, your hands are good. You got rid of that crazy knuckles by wiping them off, and then also you were able to just use the leftover of the mitt on the top of your hands. For your knees, what you're gonna do is you're gonna apply the product to your bottoms of your legs, and then you're gonna take whatever is left over and apply it on your knees, and then go to your upper part of your thigh. What you'll do for your feet, you'll take the remainder of what's left over on the mitt and you'll do that on your feet. Make sure that you have your feet really flat so you could go in between your toes. And then if you could tell on your feet that the color guard, if it does have a color guard in the product itself, looks too dark, you could just do the same technique with the baby wipes or the towel, paper towel, whatever you use, to just kind of clean up a little bit so you don't get darker knuckles. What I will use for my back is just the Bondi Sands back applicator. I love it. It has been a life changer to have. It's really easy to use. I always use this one for the tanning foams. I'll use this side for my Gradual tanners. It works so well. I never feel like I'm missing any parts of my back, and it's been a great purchase for me. So that's one of my hugest tips for your back. If you don't have somebody that can do it for you all the time, grab one of those and you'll be so pleased with it. If you're like me and for some reason your chest doesn't take as well after you have made sure you went lightly in the exfoliation process around your neck and your chest, you could just apply a double layer of tan to your neck right after you do the first one. Neck and chest after you do the first one, what I actually will do is I do 2 layers of tan. For the Bondi Sands, it says for a deeper tan, apply 30 minutes after initial application, which I do, but I get 3 applications on my chest just because I want it to be equal with everything else. And for some reason, it doesn't stick as well, even if I don't over exfoliate it. After you've done your chest, if you do like to tan your face, what I will do sometimes is I will just put it on the mitt, like what's ever left over, and then put it on my face, but that doesn't tan my face really well. So actually what I use for tanning my face is just a makeup brush. I like a flat one just because then I can feel like I could really buff it in. I do use the Bondi Sands for my body, but for my face, the Loving Tan Ultra Dark is the only thing that sticks, and they do compare well together. So you don't really have to worry about that. So I love this on my face. It doesn't last as long as I'd like, but as of right now, this is what I use for my face. Don't defer from it because I think I just have oily skin, so tans don't tend to stick on my face as well. Another huge thing that I want to talk about too is the foundation that I use to match my tan. This has matched 3 tans that I've used, and so it's pretty universal. I am in love with the Matte and Poreless Maybelline one. I've used it for so long. It is in the color 228. Yeah, it's soft tan. This has matched me very well with all of my tans, so this is good pickup. Right now it's so hard to color match foundations because nowhere lets you try on anything or have samples. Yeah, this is my go-to. I've tried so many foundations and this is just my favorite, and this is what color I found to work best with all of my tans. Everybody's skin is a little bit different, so I'm not exactly sure if it will be perfect for everybody, but it's not too expensive. So if you're one of those that orders foundations online, look into that color, maybe look up a couple other YouTube videos on that foundation itself, and then maybe you could compare your skin tones. That's what I did to find that one like more than a year ago. After I have completely applied my tan, I usually do it at nighttime, so I will just get ready for bed in really loose fitting clothing. I always wear long sleeves, long pants, because sometimes if you sweat when you sleep, or like if it's hot in the summertime and you leave your hand on your thigh or your arm or something like that, and I've had handprints before, so I've learned from that mistake. So I always sleep in long clothing just to avoid anything like that, and it helps avoid any kind of transfer to your sheets. I will then leave it on for about 12 hours. So I'll usually sleep with it, wake up, keep it on for a couple hours, and then rinse off. When I do take my first shower, I will just do a quick rinse with not too hot water or anything like that. And then what I'll do is I will pat dry. That's super important after you tan, because you don't want to be harsh on your skin or anything like that. So every time I shower after I have done my tan, throughout the week, I will just pat dry. It takes a little bit of time, but it helps not over exfoliate the skin so that you can have that tan stay as long as possible. When I get out of the shower, I will just moisturize my dry areas, my hands, my elbows, my knees, and my feet, and my ankles. And then I actually will go in with one of my Gradual tanners. Not everybody does this, so if you don't want to build your tan any farther, just apply a moisturizer all over your body. I use the AVEENO Daily Moisturizing Lotion. I've been using it forever because it really helps prolong my tan and keep it like in my skin and not flake or anything like that. Keeps you super moisturized. But usually what I'll do is I will apply one of these after I did my tan for the first time, just to deepen that tan. I will show you with the Gradual tanning milk how I would apply the tan. Even the foam, I apply them the same ways. So I'll just take it onto the mint directly. And then for the Bondi stands, it says to apply in long sweeping motions. So I usually will go like this, but I usually start with the upper arm with that one. With the Gradual tanners, it's not that big of a deal. And after I have it completely on everywhere, I will just blend it together. It's really important to make sure that you blend in your tan so that you don't end up with any streaks. If you want to just go in with your mousse Gradual tanner oil and start with circular motions, that's fine. But I've noticed if you do sweeping motions, yes, it does give you a more likelihood to have streaks. So maybe if you're an experienced tanner, try the sweeps with the Gradual, well, not the Gradual tan, the aerated foam, and then do the blend, because it actually makes your tan deeper because you're giving more product in one area than if you just go and rub it around like crazy. And then, like I said, I'll just sweep over my elbow a couple times. And then, yeah. Then after that is done, I will go to my hands, apply to the top of my hands, not as much left on the mitt, go to my wrists, flip the mitt over or use an area that hasn't touched the tan just to spread it out, go through my fingers in that little weird motion that I said that I do, and make sure you go in between your fingers and everything like that. And then we will pretend like you have to wipe the tips of your fingertips off with a Gradual tan, which you don't. But just for purposes, if you're using a one application and done product, I'll show you. So you just make sure, and then just like I said, I'll go to a part where it doesn't have any tan on it, and I'll just sweep through it. Some people actually will use like a brush, but I don't. I am just going to quickly do the other arm real fast and then finish up this video. Okay, and then another tip for you is if you're like me and you wash your hands a lot, your hands will lose tan faster. So what I'll do is I do use one of my Gradual tanners, and I'll just apply it with a mitt to my hands just to darken them because I want them to always match my arms. You will want to make sure that you moisturize at least once every single day. I usually moisturize in the morning and at night because that will help prolong your tan, because when your skin gets dry, that's when the tan starts to come off. So just make sure you stay super hydrated. Well, make sure your skin stays super hydrated. And if you'd like to darken your tan, you could just use one of the everyday Gradual tanners by really anybody. Just my two favorites are the Bondi Sands ones. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, you could go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, you could just hop onto my channel. Until next time, YouTube, see you later.